I just watched the movie Transsiberian. The plot is Woody Harrelson and his wife, Emily Mortimer, they take a train trip from China through Siberia on the way to Moscow. So therefore it's called Transsiberian. Anyway, they meet a couple. Oh yeah, the main part is they meet somebody on the train. In the very beginning of the film, I wasn't sure who the cast was when I first saw it, and I see Ben Kingsley, and I'm like, wow, Ben Kingsley. Oh, this is going to be a good film, because he's never really in a bad film. That guy's a good actor. When he is in a bad movie, I'm kind of surprised. Woody Harrelson, when I think of him, I think of Cheers, of course, who couldn't. But I also think of Natural Born Killers. If you just watch Natural Born Killers, your mind will explode because he is not that character in this film. As a matter of fact, if Natural Born Killers character met this character, they would probably explode and, they'd commit suicide because they're complete opposites. The two other girls are Emily Mortimer, Kate Mora, and there's a guy, Eduardo Noriega. Good job. Good job. I was really happy with him. Now, like I said, it's a trip across Siberia on a train. And some of the neat things about this film is there's some Russian proverbs in the film that hold true. I like Russian proverbs, man. They're kind of cool. Also, you learn a little bit about the brutality of the Russian police. And keep in mind, since the evil empire fell, that system may have fell, but the people behind it are still there, and they need to make money. Okay? So this film kind of subtly points out or draws attention to where is the line drawn between good and evil in human nature. I mean, there's a line in all of us, right? And that line, we kind of examine that a little bit in this film. Also, one of the great things about this film is there's subtle nuances that, you're watching someone's facial expression and you're like, what does that facial expression mean? And you'll start asking yourself questions like, are they who I think they are? Are they telling me the truth physically? I mean, am I getting the plot? And they do a lot of subtle things in this film that really drives the plot. So pay attention to the subtle nuances. The story had very little action. If you're expecting Die Hard or something like that, you're going to be disappointed because it's not an action flick. This is a very plot-driven, storyline-driven film. Now, some of the life lessons that I like to take away from films, life lessons from the movies. Number one is don't talk to strangers. Okay, we tell our kids not to do it, and that's one of the big points in this film. Even if you're a grown-up, talking to strangers leads to committing yourself to them, and all of a sudden, are these people who they portray themselves to be? So a good idea is not to talk to strangers, even if you're a grown-up. Be on your guard, okay? Also, another life lesson is keeping a secret is really hard to do. Now, even if your intentions are good, okay, your intentions can be good, and because of that, you might lie or manipulate circumstances, and then all of a sudden it's like life comes up with things out of the woodwork to expose your secret. So keeping secrets is really hard to do. Life lesson. Now, the next one isn't really a life lesson, but it struck me as interesting. I wanted to ask you a question. Is prevention better than punishment? But there's a spot in this film where someone is overtly aggressive to prevent a potential crime. We don't know if that crime is going to take place. And that stuck in the back of my mind because I noticed that the mentality of the planet Earth since 2001 is we're more into preventing a crime rather than doing an equal just punishment. So now everybody's punishment for the acts of a few people. So I'd like your thoughts on that. Prevention or punishment? Basically the biblical precepts, an eye for an eye, everything, you let them commit the crime, then you punish them. But now it's like we're preventing. So anyway, let me know what you think about that in the comments section. Just bringing that to your attention. Now, as far as giving it a rating, like I said, it's not a real action-driven film. But it's really good. I'm going to go ahead and give it an A minus, man. I really liked it. Pay attention to the subtle nuances. The plot is it just goes from, it just keeps going. It'll keep you interested and it will keep you in suspense. All right, most radical man ever. Till we meet again, dig deeper, go higher.